Coach, so you guys got a big road trip coming up, and it's kind of in the thick of it in Big 12 play. Like, what have you been telling your players since, it's that kind of last month before March Madness, and you guys still kind of stay in the middle of the pack of the conference?
Yeah, we first of all, the bye week was good to us, right? I mean, I think it came at a really good time right before we start second half. Kind of get ourselves together and heal up a little bit, rest up, and then also just fine tune some things, really work on some things that we needed to correct from the first half. So I think our kids are ready for this challenge. They understand that we haven't been successful on the road as well as we want to be, and that this is a huge opportunity for where we stand. We've done some good work at home, and the conference is crazy this year. There's been a lot of parity, a lot of upsets, and so fate's really in our own hands, so we're in control of it.
Coach, you mentioned that a little bit of a break, and it could be good. I think the last time you guys had at least a week was early in non-con play, but that was home game to home game. Now you're going from home game to obviously a pretty big road game. Any differences there with taking some extended time off?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think clearly, we did need to rest for sure, but I love the fact that we were able to really get in the lab and work on some things that obviously like turnovers, some of our defensive rotations, even our offensive flow, I think, has gotten a lot better over the week. And so, our kids are excited about going on the road and proving that they can play well there. I think we've tried to just emphasize the fact that we've got to be together even more so than usual and be really tight on the road as well as a group and make sure that we know that we're going into this, it's basically us against the world mentality.
I believe this is the first ever meeting between these two schools.
Crazy.
How exciting is it to be coaching in this game?
Yeah, it is. It's crazy that we've never played Cincy before, and then to be able to go to Cincy, I think, is an exciting thing too. I love what the Big 12's doing. I love the regions that we're covering and how we get to go to different places in the country, and it's crazy that Texas Tech has never played Cincy in women's basketball, so it's awesome to get this rivalry started.
Do you have any connection with Coach Merriweather?
So I've known Coach Merriweather for a while, yeah. She was at Wright State when I was at UTA, and then obviously followed her to Memphis in her career there. She does a great job, and I'm super proud of her to be able to be at Cincy, and what she's doing there is incredible, and they're a really good basketball team.
And then I guess here shortly, you don't want to look too far ahead, but obviously you got to continue this road trip off to West Virginia, a tough environment there. You got the double overtime win here last year. Just take me through what that's going to need to take to get the win on the road.
Yeah, I mean, obviously West Virginia is a really good basketball team, and they are really defending well. Their full court pressure and their zone defense is something that we're going to be concerned about and that we'll have to handle really well. But love the opportunity to go to Morgantown. It's a really hard place to play. Our kids know that. But we're staying on the road because of the shorter time in between, and they're not going to miss any extra class time. So it makes sense for us to just stay in a groove and stay together and stay on a mission. So hopefully we'll come back with 2 wins.
How are you guys going to spend those extra couple days in between games? It's not a familiar situation.
Yeah.
That happens all the time.
Practicing for sure, right? We'll practice and get to game prep really well, which I love. We'll have that time, and obviously rest up too. I think we're driving from Cincy to Morgantown. It's about 4 hours, so it made sense for us to do that. So getting to see the country, I think, is going to be really exciting. And then we'll try to do a little bit of team bonding things as well. I mean, some of the best memories that these kids have are road trips, and not very often do we get to stay on the road an extended period of time. So we're going to use it to our advantage, and our family is going to become even closer.
And then for the Cincinnati game, on paper, a team you probably should beat based on where they are in the standings. What do you guys have to do to make it a little easier on yourself of being it is working?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything easy about the Big 12, and no opponent is easy as well. It just doesn't matter who you're playing. You got to show up and play your game. I do think that Cincy's really good at home. I think they're 8-3 at home, so that in itself is something that we're going to have to battle. But we've got to go in and just play our game. We've got to handle their pressure. We've got to handle the different looks that they're going to give us on defense, because they do play some zone and man. And we're just going to have to take care of the basketball and be tough. We've got to make sure that our defense travels and that our offense is fluid the way that we want it to be after we've spent a week working on it.
Coach, it's beating the same horse here as far as road struggles and whatnot here and there, but you're in those games nonetheless.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right there. I mean, what is that? Just that final step to be able to get that win.
Yeah, I think it's just the mentality, right? I mean, when it gets down to crunch time, we have to be better. Like we can't expect a call. We can't expect things to go well for us. We can't expect the crowd to get involved and not be for us. So we just have to get more mentally tough, more together, and really be disciplined at trying to execute or get a stop and just out tough them, you know. And I think that the youth of our team, that probably has been a factor in a couple of our road losses, is just not having that experience. But I think that now they're gone through a half of conference play that they understand how difficult it is to play on the road, and we want to make a stand and become road warriors.
Coach, being such a young team, how do you keep your players sharp and disciplined with the final coming of this season, and you've got 4 ranked opponents on the way? How do you keep your team just locked into those?
I mean, our staff, I think, has done a really good job of just emphasizing that over and over, but also just just paying attention to the details. I mean, I think when you play people the second time around, or you're getting into February basketball, it's really about the details, because everybody knows what you're going to do, and we know what everybody's going to do. It's just who can do it better. And so we've got to really make sure that our details are, all of our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed, and that we are really adamant about doing things right. So just a toughness mentality and keep it on focused. This is what they've been working for. And they can't lose sight of that. This is what they've been playing for, is to be in the middle of the pack in the hunt, right, in February. And so now the ball's in our hands to do something about it.
Anything else? All right, thanks, Coach.
Awesome.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you guys. Appreciate y'all.
Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you.